Hello, this is Auto Mamiya Sekor 55mm lens 42 M42 mount. This lens has aperture pin. Let's from this box. This lens has this aperture pin. When the F-mount adapter is installed on this lens, the aperture pin is not in mechanical contact with DSLR. If this pin is not pressed, you can see I'm moving the aperture ring. If this pin is not pressed, then the aperture adjustment ring cannot adjust the aperture. You can see this in this example. This means that this lens must be modified to work properly in the modern DSLRs. You can see when I press the pin and move the aperture ring, the aperture is changing its dimensions. But when I release the pin, nothing happened. The aperture is at maximal level, opened at maximum level. So let's start the modification. We need flat screwdrivers. So let's start with this is too big. I need some smaller. So let's start with this first sets of screws. Before we start, let's put it 4 in the middle of this red dot, and this second ring let's put 4 where 4 is and 4 where 4 is. So we align 3 fours just to have a reference when we put it back together how it should go together. So we will begin to unscrew this. There are 3 screws, so I will unscrew them one by one. This is, you have to watch out. There is this ball here, don't lose it. Put that to the side. Now this came off. We can see that this notch here is corresponding to this notch here. This to this. We should also put this to the side, and we can see here there is not more screws inside, as I can tell. So I will try to this next ring that is stationary, I will try to unmount him. There is also 3 3 screws, even smaller than before. So I made these small flat screwdrivers to unscrew these screws, because they are very delicate. Just a little, but I have to have some reference. Okay, Japan should be in this direction where this is going. E should be in the direction of the pin. Lens made in Japan. E or this screw should be in the direction of the pin. So we now know that's the reference when we put it together, back together. I feel it came loose. I will put that to the side. This is dust. There is dust in here. I blow a dust a little bit from the inside of the. We should use some brushes. We have brushes, all brushes for painting. Let's clean it a bit. It's like an archaeology. You never know what you will find. Okay, this is enough. We can see we have again 3 sets of screws. 1, 2, 3. A set of 3 screws. They are, how do you say, cross shaped. Do we have? Oh, yes, we do. Maybe not. We need a screwdriver. Maybe this will help. Okay, I think this screwdriver can help. Again, we have to have some reference to this part of the. You see, you have this part of the lens and this part of the lens. When we unscrew these screws, I suppose this will come out. So we have to have a visual reference in order to put it back together. And we can see there is these 2 sets of screws, and they are just to the right of this pin. So when we put this together, this part, this pin should be left from this in the direction of this forward slash on the front of the, you see, in this reference. This pin should be in that So let's unscrew it. And if we made some mistake, as they say, screw it, just unscrew it. Now we should be able to, we need some containers for these screws, some containers from old film. Gently remove it. It's pretty we did it. It's pretty low tolerances or high tolerances depending on what you. Okay, this is all very nice. So we have this pin, this pin allow just a moment. Let me see what we can see. We can modify this in many ways, to be honest. We can simply when the pin is not pressed, this part can move freely, so it does not exert any pressure to any inside part of the inside compartment. But when it is pressed, then it pressure this link. So we need to make sure that this is have this part have pressure always, and I know how to do it. You see, this pin should be always pressed inward like this. So if we put something from here to here as a kind of distancer, this will always be pressed, and I think we know how to do it. Just let me see what is the maximum that this pin can go in. When it maximal go in, it sticks 1 millimeter from the surface. This pin, when it's maximally pressed, sticks from this surface 1 millimeter. It cannot go any further than that. the diameter of this pin is 1.5 millimeter. Okay, so basically we need and 4 millimeter in length when it is not pressed. So basically we need some distancer that have inner diameter of 1.5 millimeter and that is 3 millimeter in length. Just to be clear, this pin is what I'm talking about. I don't know if you can see this pin here. We should put something in between of this surface and this surface here. And usually they use this I don't know how to call it, patrons for pens. And let's try out if we can this is approximately yes, this will fit nicely, and we need 3 millimeters of too long. Let's mark it, maybe a little longer. And we will cut it. Now let's see. This is 3.1 millimeter in length, almost perfect. Now we will disassemble this part here. Oops. We have to disassemble this part here. We need another container. Now we should be able to rotate this and pull out this pin. We did pull out this pin. Now we will exert this distancer. Maybe scrub it a bit, clean it a bit. We will put this pin back together. I don't know if you can see. You see, we put the distancer from this plastic on this pin, so this plastic will prevent this pin to go back. That is the point. I need let me see how it sticks out. It's around 1 mm. Now we should put this together if we can. Pin will not. We have to remove this and then put it together. Remove this. There is factory glue. Just remove it. Okay. This should be it's a little tricky to get it back, to be honest. Okay. It's really tricky. I really need more lights here next video. Maybe something like this. Okay. This is more magnetic. This is. Oh, that's great. That is. Yeah. This can be done, but it's harder than you think. You have to screw something that is under pressure and position it at the same time. Okay, let me try this again. This should be something like this, no? Yes, something like this. something like this. Now screw it. Now we have this one. You should screw it not too much. But enough. I think this modification is done. Okay. This lever controls the aperture, and probably this lever should be in this slot. This lever should be put in this slot when returning the assembly. So let's try that. We put this lever like this. You can see it's going in. We should have pin this backslash pin. We put it together. Let's see if it works. Yes, it works. So only thing to do now is to put it all back together. As we disassemble it, we must assemble it. We are putting the first screw, not to the end, but almost to the end. We are putting second screw. Third screw. Now we should tighten it out. Not too much, not too little. We should dust it a bit. We should check it again. Yes, it works. That's okay. This groove should be where this screws is going. Let's take one screw out. This screw. Yes, like this. And now, yes, maybe too much, like this, then like this, then like this, evenly distributed. Okay, I will not fasten it to the end. I want to be able to maybe untie it later. Does this turn freely? Yes, it turns in this position. Okay, it is to the infinite. In this position is above. Okay, maybe this should, I think this should be like this. We will see. Now we put this ring that control aperture like this. This ring does not have to be fastened with anything, but this next should. We have to be careful. This ball bearing should be like this. Ball bearing goes to these grooves here, and this goes here, I believe. So basically let's try it like this. So basically, if you don't want to have a clickable aperture, you just remove this ball and that's it. But I don't want to do that. I want to have clickable aperture. For this you use a bigger screwdriver. You fasten it, not too much. You go around, equally fasten it, and at the end just a little tight again, just a little tightening. I think that's good. Now will it click? Yes, it will click to the end. And that's it. I believe this is a done deal. This is done. Now you have modified Mamiya Sekor Auto 55mm lens. You can see this pin is no longer protruding. It's approximately 1mm protruding, but before it was 4. So this is successful modification. Okay. Thank you for watching and goodbye. Bye.